Hi all and welcome back to day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival for 2019. These are my final selections going on from last night's video of the day 1 selections, which went down very well, so thank you to all of you there. It's Monday night now. The buzz to Cheltenham really is getting proper now. Unfortunately, Elixir de Nuts is out of the stream. That's the only sort of update from last night that I can tell you, but apart from that, not much else to say. I did a lot of my waffling in the first video of this, so let's get straight to facts. When we go straight to the Ballymore Novices Hurdle on the second day, and we've got, in most of these races, we've got 2 or 3 plays, just because it's Cheltenham, you want a few each-way pokes alongside your main bets. This one hasn't changed too much for me, though. I've got 2 nice outsiders. Well, not outsiders. They're 3rd and 4th in the betting. But Brewing Up a Storm, who's now gone into 8-1, and City Island, who's now at 8-1 as well. Brewing Up a Storm, as you guys know, fell at Cheltenham last time out when I thought he'd win. City Island is a very improving horse in Ireland, trained by Martin Brazel. Martin Brazel wouldn't be running him in the race if he didn't have a chance. Also, his owner is the sponsor of the race. And I do like Sam's profile. I had him in for the Martin Pipe, if you remember, for my initial videos. But they obviously think he's a better horse than a handicap, which is fair enough. I think he's got a good chance. He's 10s now, perhaps getting a little bit on the short side, but he is still triple of the price of Battle Over Doyen, considering he had a terrible run behind Battle Over Doyen last time out and still finished within 3 lengths. The RSA is going... Well, I'm siding still with Delta Work. He's now with the favourite, and he should have been favourite 2 months ago. We have top of the game at this race, which obviously I didn't want. I wanted him in the JLT, but he's not going to run in the JLT, which is fair enough. It's another one. It's a bit like the Champion Hurdle. I think if the top 3 do run to form, they finish in the top 3. I wouldn't really have much of an each-way alternative in this race, but I had Drover's Lane for the 4-miler. I might put a little bit of change here and there each way on him at 16-1 for Rebecca Curtis. Hopefully Rebecca, either with him or with Lidsnagar Oscar, can go close to having a festival winner this year. The Coral Cup, obviously the big news of the Coral Cup, Uradell sneaking in, and I do mean sneaking in at the bottom of the weights. Or Walsh on board, he's 5-1. It's far too short for the Coral Cup for me though, and I've got a few alternatives in here. I like Scarpetta, as I've said before. Danny Mullins in the saddle. I wouldn't be too concerned with Danny Mullins being the rider. I think, to be fair to them, they obviously do it a bit on merit. But when it gets down to like their 3rd and 4th options, I think they do, or they try to keep certain horses with jockeys that have ridden them before. Danny Mullins has ridden Scarpetta heaps of times before. I like in this Canardier for Dermot Anthony McLaughlin. He's a horse I thought was going to go for the Martin Pipe for a while. Robbie Dunn in the saddle. He's 12-1 now. He's been backed, and he was a course and distance winner when last seen out. He's got a bit of class in a race where you do need a bit of class to go close. And that leads us to our 3rd option in this race. Again, WP. If you remember well, he was my flyer for the Ryanair chase. That went out the window because the horse just simply can't run over fences anymore. But Kalultovic is still not a bad hurdler on his day, and he's back in a handicap. Potentially, I don't know. I'd have a little nibble at 16. So there's 3 for the county, or the Coral Cup even. Altior in the Champion Chase surely wins. I don't think it's just as much of a cakewalk as people think it's going to be, because Min's a really good opponent. Now, on all known form, Altior will beat Min, but he'll need to be near the top of his form to do so again, because Min's a very good horse. The problem is that Min is clearly the second best horse in this race, so therefore you're kind of going, like, he's now odds on without the favourite. So that's not a great bet either. The only saving grace about this Champion Chase from a betting perspective is that there's 9 runners, which means there's 3 places, and I'd have a little bit on Hell's Kitchen at 25-1. He's a mighty horse. On his day, he could run very well. The Glenfarclas Country Chase, Tiger Roll here, he's one of the Irish bankers. I can see exactly why as well. He's now 5-4. He's just eased a little bit from Evans. Evans is short for a cross-country race, I do realise. Like, he's no great shakes at 5-4 now. even though he should win. In terms of your each-way alternatives in a race that probably you'll get 3 or 4 places, I think the French Raiders, Urgent de Gregan, who's 14-1, and Amazing Comedy, who's right down there, he's at 33-1. I put Amazing Comedy up in the first video. Urgent de Gregan is another one of these French horses who usually runs well at Cheltenham. The Fred Winter, I was delighted because they've been banging on the Elliott team about lethal steps running this race, which made me think Chief Justice wouldn't go. But he is here. He's at 11-1 with Keats Dunhu in the saddle. Keats a great rider, so I don't think that's any sort of a back number. I'd have potentially a little bit. I couldn't be very confident, but this Ciel de Neige for Mullins is at 16-1. Seems feasibly handicapped on potentially his best form and could go close, but that's a complete unknown. But 16-1, you know, the price is indicated in the unknownness. The Champion Bumper, I've thought long and hard about it, and I'm going to side with Enfa Allen. I just love him as a horse. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs kind of no race, but yet I wouldn't be surprised if he outstays them and wins the race. And when I put up the initial video, now I know his price is contracted mostly from absentees, but Meticulous was 20-1. He's now 13-2. Donnacha O'Brien riding him for Joseph O'Brien. Surely that's a bit of a tip in itself that they think this horse is going to go close. 13-2. He's getting short now, but he's still possibly an each-way alternative if you don't want to take the 2 favourites. So that's it, a quick run through. Obviously these videos don't need to be that long. If you want more explanations for the majority of them, do look at the previous video of the 4 days, because I go through them far more in depth in those. And I will be back to you probably tomorrow evening, where day 1 will be done and day 3 will be previewed. I'll see you then.